Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. Today we're going to be making this adorable Halloween card, and we're going to be using some products from the new holiday catalog. We've also got some of our 7/8 inch striped ribbon on this card, and this ribbon is black and white, very cool, and it does have wire running through both of the ends here so that you can manipulate it and fold it and do whatever you want with it, and it'll stay like that. So that is very cool also. Let's get into the card. Oops. To start out with, I've got a 3 3/4 inch by 5 inch piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper here because I'm going to do some marker flicking. And this is a technique that my dear friend Dina shows a lot, and I think it's very cool. You take one of our Stampin' Right markers. You use the brush end, which is indicated by the wide line here. We've got the skinny line here. Writing tip, a wide line is the brush end, and you're just going to stick the marker end in your cap, and you're just going to flick it out, and you're going to use some good force with this because you want it to splatter. So do you see all that splatter up there? See that? How cool is that? My darling, you are a genius, Dina. Okay, we've got that part done. Next, we're going to bring in some of our basics washi tape. This is the black package. There's 5 different styles of washi tape in this collection. Whoops. And we are going to use, let's see, these 3 on our card today. We've got the super skinny, which is about 1/8 of an inch. We've got this kind of arrow pattern, which I believe is about 3/8 of an inch. And then we've got the really wide, which is, I think, 1 inch. So I'm just going to peel some of this washi tape off. And I want to kind of have it be on an angle, so I'm just going to tear it before I start. And then when I stick it on my card, I'm just going to put it about like so. Kind of covering that a little bit. And then just tear off the excess there. Does not have to be perfect. The washi tape tearing is not perfect. We're going to bring in our next pattern, which is the arrow pattern. And that's going to kind of just go down here, kind of angled towards the bottom a little bit. Again, we'll press that down, tear that off. Our last one is this little skinny stuff, and I'm going to put this right above this one here. So I'm kind of basically going over the washi tape that's already on there. And we'll tear that off. And we'll just kind of push that excess to the back. Put our washi tapes away, and I do like to keep mine on a book ring. I don't know. I'm a little bit anal about things staying together, and since these are a collection, then they must stay together. So book ring works for me. All right, so you see I've got the washi tape on the card. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the ribbon. So I've got my piece of ribbon here. Gosh, how long is this piece of ribbon? Let's just measure it and I'll tell you. It's about 3.5 inches long. And what I did with it was I just kind of folded it on itself, and then I just kind of snipped it up on the diagonal to get that kind of V, fork, snake tongue, whatever you want to call it, that design. And I'm going to lay this out on my scratch paper. And I'm going to bring in some of my tear and tape adhesive. Love this stuff. And this ribbon is a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little bit thick. It's thicker than a regular ribbon, so it kind of needs, I think, something a little more substantial to keep it stuck on the paper. So that's why I'm going to just put a couple strips of tear and tape adhesive on this. Boy, this stuff is really sticky. See, that's just sticking all over my hand. Okay. So we've got our tear tape adhesive on the back there. We're going to press it down. Get it stuck really well, and then we'll just peel off the protective paper backing on both sides. I have very few nails, so doing that is a little difficult. Okay, and then I'm just going to line it up with the edge where I kind of cut it off, and then we're just going to place it right on there. And this is just kind of random because, well, you know, everything can't be perfect in life, right? So we've got some random stamping or spritzing with the marker. We've got some random washi tape, a little bit of ribbon there. And then we're going to layer this onto a slightly larger piece of black cardstock. And this cardstock is going to end up measuring 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm going to go ahead and just adhere that with some liquid glue. Whoops, my liquid glue is clogged. Has that ever happened to you? Well, here's my little, get that glue ball out of the way. My little trick, I just have a kind of piece of foam here with some pins. It's real high tech, real fancy. And I just, when my glue gets clogged, I just shove the pin in there, pulls out the little blob that might be blocking it, and then I can go about my gluing business. So there was a tip for you. And I just keep that out on my work table because I do use the multi-purpose liquid glue quite a bit. And it does get clogged from time to time because I'm not very diligent about putting the lid on. So yeah, my fault, but I had to come up with some way to get that unclogged. All right, we've got our layer on there. I also want to use the Spooky Cat stamp set, and I'm going to use this mouse right here. I cannot tell you how mice just gross me out. Anyway, there's a mouse, yucky. And I have some other cards that I'm working on with this set, but for this particular card, we're just going to use that yucky mouse. And I'm going to ink him up in some basic gray. And get him nice and inky. And then he's just going to kind of walk along the bottom of the card down here. There he is. Yuck. Put my ink pad away so I don't make a mess and get ink all over everything. Got an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of pumpkin pie cardstock here. I'll get my bone folder out and get a nice crisp fold on that guy. Add another bit of liquid glue. Get this centered. And again, sometimes you'll see me when I layer things and I press them down from the back side. It's just kind of a habit that I've gotten into from years and years of stamping, where when I was a beginner stamper, and I would ink things, you know, I would ink up a stamp, I would put it on the cardstock, and then I would end up smearing it, just because I couldn't keep my fingers off of it in the beginning, so I would smear it. So I found that if I put the ink on there and I flip the paper over and then I press it from the back, then I don't have any chance of smearing it, so yay for me. All right, I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White here. And I'm going to use one of the stamps from the stamp set. I'm going to use this Trick or Treat, Have a Haunting Halloween, Something Wicked This Way Comes image. So I've got that mounted on my clear block. I'm going to use some pumpkin pie ink. Get that inked up. Just stamp that right there on my cardstock. Grab the punch and we'll just punch that out. Okay, so there's kind of our main image, but I do want my bat to be black, so I'm going to clean this stamp, and then I'm going to ink it up in black and stamp it on a scrap piece of paper. So I've got that done here. I just stamped it on a little tiny strip. I just needed the bat. I've got my paper snips here, and I'm going to cut that little guy out. Be right back. All right, I've got my little bat cut out. I'm just going to add a tiny, tiny little bit of glue here, kind of smear it around. And then I'm just going to place him on the orange bat like so, and then I can have a black bat. Yay! All right, moving on. I've also got some black metallic thread, and I'm going to try my hand at some random wrapping that I see. Just kind of wrap that around my hands a few times. Cut that off. So I have just a kind of a little bunch of circles here. And then I'm just going to kind of stick this on the back of, whoops, I need to put some adhesive on there. There's my fast fuse. Fast fuse here, so we'll just put some fast fuse on this guy. I'm going to have to start that little wrapping process over because I need to put my fast fuse on here. Oh, I got glue stuck on the end of that. That's impeding my fast fuse progress. Okay, we're going to do this again. Oh, whoops. Oh, goodness. I'm just making a mess here, so bear with me. Okay. There. Actually, I think I might make that smaller. actually, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be a little bit random here, and I'm just going to stick it down, and then I'm just going to kind of figure eight it around. See how I like that. I don't know. I'm pretty particular about stuff, and am I going to be able to handle this randomness? I don't know. Is that going to work? Is that random enough? Yeah, I guess. That looks okay, right? Tell me it looks okay. Yes, Barb, it looks fine. Go with it. All right, I'm going to. All right, I need some dimensionals. Got some Stampin' dimensionals here, and I'm just going to kind of stick a few of these guys over my metallic thread. Okay. Boy, I don't know. That random... I've got to embrace the random, right? All right, bring in the card. And then we're just going to kind of throw this greeting about right there, give or take. Smash it down. And there we have it. I have a Haunting Halloween card. Yay! With marker spritzing and a mouse. Gross. Well, hopefully you learned some things and got some fun information with this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel down here in the corner, you'll be notified when I upload new videos, which I try to do a couple of weeks. So thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.